watching us on this live. Just watch out. Just the government is coming.
We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Yes, it is. It still exists. I'm still alive. So I today I have with me my two very good friends. None of us are making content recently, and we saw Joanna doing this with Alan, and we decided to do it as well. I thought actually, basically, I'm too lazy to film and edit, so I asked these guys if they can join me, and they agreed. So, do do you guys need introduction in my channel? You guys go
Um,
ahead if you want.
I'm leaving now because Anita just referred to me as a good friend, and I thought we were best friends. And we're done. It's over. I'm done. Like I
I
can't do
mean,
this
if she's gonna leave, I'm gonna go back to my nap.
anymore. Anyways,
But well, okay. Hey, Mike. Thank you for
Let
coming.
let it be
Okay.
known that I woke up from a nap an hour ago, and I still haven't woken up yet, and I need to go back to
I
bed.
woke up not to one up you, but I woke up from a nap like less than 10 minutes ago. So
Well, you are a better human being than me since you're here and you have everything prepared.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
As you guys can see, we are not prepared for this.
Except
I
her.
haven't even
Because
read
it's
that
late.
many books to be. I mean, if there is a eligibility to do this tag, I am not eligible because I haven't read that many books. Anyway, but we are still doing this.
Well,
You
like,
guys are well.
do you have more than Alan? Do you have more than 12?
Yes, I just counted. I usually update my Goodreads and my Goodreads account and my videos are the only way I can track because I don't maintain spreadsheets. But I did not make videos since March. I did not update my Goodreads account. It's like, what the hell? Now I have to think back and try to recollect what I read.
Anita, are we even the same person? Because you don't use spreadsheets, and I use spreadsheets.
I know
What's
this is a
happening?
big difference.
If anyone is just joining, it's chaos. Pete and I are just we're poking the bear that is Anita and seeing how far we can test her. So
I agree, Samwise. I completely agree. This year, Alan is going to beat me definitely.
I mean, you had a full 2 months off and you still be, so much reading.
Anyway, let's start. Oh
So,
my god,
how
I
many?
hate this first question. Okay. How has your reading year been going so far? Evie?
Oh,
it's been fine. I did the opposite of what I aimed to do at the end of the last year, which was not sign up for buddy reads so I could not drown myself in buddy reads. And I am more than 75% of buddy reads. Actually, I would probably even say I'm like 90% buddy reads so far this year. And as much as I love interacting with people and reading books alongside other people, I want to read some books that I want to read, damn it.
but
So
like, you're reading Persuasion.
that's a comfort read. That's a annual reread.
Don't
So
you
you're
And
want to
reading books you want
mention
to read.
don't you
You
want
only
to
just one.
mention all the DNFs, all buddy read DNFs with me specifically?
this is what happens. I get excited about when people ask me if I want to read a book with them, and I say yes, and I don't think, and then I realize, do I actually want to read this book after the fact, after I've already been signed myself up and I'm halfway down the plank, and it's either jump or jump off the plank. So I have to jump off the plank and DNF books all the time. So
And have you found out a new genre you're enjoying? Romance?
isn't that a question, Anita? Later? So
Okay. Who knows? I haven't even looked at questions. Okay, Pete.
But the reading has been fine. I've read a lot of books that I have enjoyed this year. So I'm taking it much slower, in all seriousness. So yeah.
Christine has the right idea. For
Yeah.
sure. All right. So, how has my reading year been going? It's going pretty good. I don't feel like I had like many plans. There was one plan, which was to read The Black Company, and the rest of it was just like, let's fill it in as it comes in, and that's resulted in some pretty good reads. I've started also trying to take care of Adrian Tchaikovsky's backlog, which Anita continually tries to slow me down in by trying to say, "Hey, we should buddy read this," and then not reading it. But and then I've been catching up on some other stuff. So we have like finishing up Trials of the Empire of the Wolf, starting Savis Korvac, Spear Cuts Through Water, which was really good. Started some buddy read with K Fox and Ben the Overlord for the Kyoshi series, and then continuing on with Avatar: Last Airbender. Bunch of other stuff. I read some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics last month, which was great. A lot of random stuff. It's been good.
Okay. You two are doing much better than me, so sorry. I have all crumbles on my shirt. Anyway,
Listen, at least before you get into it, Anita, at least you're the one that's reading the Allen books. Neither of us are. Well, Pete's like 3 months behind, 4 months behind.
I'm reading Savis Korvax. I read Lustrum's
what?
Dictator. I'm reading Black Company. I, Claudius.
I created this TBR jar. You'll soon see my TBR video. The first prompt I wrote was an Allen book. That is my prompt. Anyway, yes, Pete, I agree. You definitely can compete with me when it comes to Allen books. You read almost
I
as
have
much
a
as I did.
suitable defense just sitting here waiting for him to accuse me of being a traitor. And I will say, look here, sir. I'm the best buddy reader because I'm behind.
Alan Mods are doing a live stream and he did not even join. I am offended.
It's
Not
fine.
actually true. I know he's tired, but I'm fake offended. Matt, I did not even start it.
Be real offended.
That takes too much energy, which I don't have right now.
Marianne, we're left and not left. We're just gonna come show up to the council meeting tomorrow with fake mustaches, and he won't even notice.
Hey, Alithia. Okay, let's go back to the questions. Okay, you all know you haven't seen videos from me since March. I am in one of the worst reading slumps I have ever been in. I struggle so much. I mean, initially Jan and February was fine, but since then, to be honest, I should not blame Claudius the God because my slump actually started last year, August. My reading slowed down, my content slowed down, my reading slowed down to like 3 to 4 books per month. But it wasn't at its worst. I'm still reading. But since March, oh my god, I struggled to read. I did not even feel like reading. I wasn't enjoying books. But finally, after so much struggle, I am almost out of slump. I'm again enjoying books. I'm reading. I started filming. So hopefully next 6 months will go better.
That is what I wish for you, Anita.
Thank you, Evie. Best book you have read so far?
Are we gonna go in the same order? Where?
Yeah, because neither of us are prepared.
Yes.
So here's the thing, everyone. For some reason, I decided to get really stupidly, irrationally anxious about the lack of questions and the lack of definitive schedule time before Anita finally actually said what time and actually provided me the questions. I don't know why. It's fine. So, anyways, so I have planned answers, and I'm, for the most part, trying to spread the wealth, as it were, make sure to diversify the answers. Otherwise, every single answer is going to be happy place Beer Crusted Water. Yeah, those two. So, but yeah, so the best book that I've read so far. That's the prompt, right? Stop clicking on comments. Okay, sorry. To see the question. I'm kidding. Best book I've read so far this year. Definitely Happy Place by Emily Henry. So, like, second to, like, this, Emily Henry is what made me believe in contemporary romances that can be to the same level of emotional impact as Persuasion and any Jane Austen book. So, I love this book so much.
Yes.
Okay, I will not say anything. Actually, I'll keep my snarky comments to myself.
No, please be snarky.
Comments.
No, I just wanted to say you holding a happy book, pink book. That is something I didn't never expected.
Listen, here.
Hey, Alan's doing
this,
so like
this against all perceptions and marketing and type placement, this is actually a sad book as well. So
that's a good idea, Matt. I should have added. We will upload ourselves.
Yes, Marianne, thank you. Please do.
I don't want to dunk on it, but Marianne, there are better romance books. Anyway, I did not read Happy Place, so I'll not say anything. Pete.
I'm gonna have to say Lustrum by Robert Harris.
Ooh.
Because I forgot that I actually read that this year because it feels like it's been so long. I read Lustrum in January. This is the second book in the Cicero trilogy. I don't know, Cicero has really just like sparked an interest in Roman history for me, even more so than Augustus. Cicero is the GOAT. He's a douchebag, but he's the GOAT. And Julius Caesar can suck it. It's just good. I think it's a well written political thriller. Just it's like political fantasy but without the fantasy, and it's great. It's awesome, and I love it. So yeah.
By the way, I'll take credit for bullying you to read the trilogy. I bullied you entire last year. You have to read this. You will like this.
And then Alan bullied me by saying, "Wait, you hadn't read it? You haven't read this yet? What?"
So that's what made you read, not my bullying.
Alan's comment of if you read political fantasy, you should absolutely read this. Or I think it was, if you want to write political fantasy, you need to read this. Was also a pretty like good like motivator, but also Anita.
Anita, you know you're on camera, right? You could yell at Derry verbally. You don't have to yell at her.
Right. I'm so used to being on Alan's sprints and typing because I don't want to interrupt Alan. On my channel also I'm typing instead of talking. Seriously.
Interrupt Alan more.
I forgot how to do this stuff on my own channel. This is what happens if you don't do it. Okay.
What's your best book, Anita?
Okay.
Claudius the God, 100%.
No. I gave 5 stars to only 3 books, I think. Evie, can you hold the book? I don't have it. I think I listened to audiobook. I'll pick Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. That is book 1 in
bottom of my pile.
Sorry. That is book 1 in Final Architecture trilogy. That's such a fun book, actually. I mean, I haven't watched Firefly, but I heard many people said that it is very similar to Firefly. So if you like Firefly, don't miss this trilogy. Found Family in this book is one of the best.
Listen, I'm Vanna Whiting it, okay? Let me Vanna White it.
Another great inspiration that the author talks about is Farscape, which is kind of like similar, but with more aliens.
I thought you were going to say Wheel of Fortune, and I was about to lose my mind, Pete.
What?
Because I was talking about Vanna White. Oh, God. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
Adrian Tchaikovsky is like, this book is inspired by Wheel of Fortune.
Matt, Zara also is reading those books, right? I have, I mean, they came on my radar. I have to look at them. Yes,
Matt,
Ben, you will love these books. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy those books.
It's okay, Ben. We can get him back with the brain fart shifter series later on.
Estery, but I'm just joking. Yes, I'll watch it.
Also, what Derry said is accurate.
Okay. I think those, it's not the other name. This some journals of Emma Lyon, that is series name. That book name is Emma Lyon Journals. Unselected Journals or something is the series name. I'll send you the link. Okay. No, not yet. I'm the one freaking out here. All the freaking out, it's me. Hey,
We're
Brent.
all channeling it into her.
Next question. Oh my god. See, two questions I'll be struggling a lot. This is the second most I'm going to struggle. Best sequel you have read so far in 2024. Evie?
so Gormenghast, the second book in the Gormenghast trilogy by Mervyn Peake.
Yay.
The first book, Titus Grown, has been on my white whale list of books to read for the past 10 plus years, maybe even 15 at this point. And then I finally was like, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to read it, dadgummit. And I was utterly consumed by Titus Grown. It is very dense writing style, but it just became a part of my personality. And I didn't know how the second book would go, and somehow the second book is even better. And it's just so good. It's gothic fantasy. That's the only way that I can describe it. It's published around the same time, if not before, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Not pre-Tolkien, but pre-Lord of the Rings fantasy, or maybe it was published the same year. I can't remember. But either way,
He probably ripped off Lord of the Rings anyways.
Read the book, Pete, but that's okay. I'm just like twitching. So, but yeah, that's my favorite sequel.
Nice.
So, oh, and blessedly,
Eyes of the Void.
So technically, it's a trilogy, but it's unfinished or whatever. This is the third book. Let me just show you.
Well, yeah, it would have been
nice.
if he hadn't died, right?
Third book. So much tinier. I should.
Well, look, Evie,
Nice,
corpses are
Mike.
typically, I don't want to make a dead person joke, but I don't know. My brain isn't braining. It's fine.
This is what happens when we nap, Pete. We
It's
should
true.
never nap.
But I was really tired before the nap, and I'm slightly less tired now.
Anyways, best sequel, Pete.
So I already used Lustrum, so I'm gonna say Shadow of Kiyoshi by somebody whose last name is Yi.
It's okay. Pete.
FC Yi. That's this isn't the book, but like this is the next book that I have to read this month. Shadow Kiyoshi by FC Yi. I really love Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're great. And these books are amazing for people that love the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Show or books?
This is one of them.
No. Outside the Last Airbender, show or books?
All of them. Yes.
Okay.
I really like it. Again, this is like really dives into the political side as well as a little bit of the spiritual side of being the Avatar. And I don't think I think Korra kind of dives into the political side of being Avatar a little bit more than the subtle political time versus Kyoshi is about the Earthbender though. What the one I'm reading next is the Yang Chen ones. So yeah, K Fox and Ben the Overlord and I have been reading those, and they've been really good. Just absolutely fantastic. A lot of fun stuff, political fantasy as well as like spiritual fantasy type of deal with the Avatar stuff, and it's great. It's just really good. I love it.
Okay, for me, I read only three sequels this year. One we were will not talk about it. Claudius the God, and the next one is Eyes of the Void. But I like Shards of the Earth better, so I'm not going to pick that. So I started this in
Betrayal.
December, but I finished it in January. I'm going to pick Escapement by KJ Parker. This is
Heck
third
yeah.
Dimensionate trilogy. Oh my god, this book took me on a trip. My god, pushed me to my limits. I hated it and I loved it. I cannot describe my thoughts on this. The characters, what hands down, KJ Parker is the best in writing anti heroes, writing morally grey characters. I hated the protagonist in this one, but he made it so compelling and oh, love this book.
Shameless plug, Anita. You maybe I'll remember to remind you to link down in the comments for any future watchers the conversation discussion that we had about the escapement over on Alan's channel.
Yes. Yes, we have discussions of all three books in Alan's channel, and I also have a deep dive about this trilogy in my channel. So, but it is a spoiler video in Alan's channel. What we did was like at least initial discussion, initial few minutes are non-spoiler if you want to watch. But if you are into morally grey characters, if you are into anti-heroes, how to write a protagonist with anti-hero, how to write an anti-hero as protagonist, this is the best trilogy you can get it.
Additionally, if you want to learn about forging random stuff and making things, it's very educational. I learned how to make a catapult the other day reading a KJ Parker book.
Yes, that was actually that is true. I also understood the physics behind the catapult first time. I was like, oh my god, I can create a catapult now. That
Right?
was, yeah, and
Way
very
difficult
interesting
spot.
and detailed.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, honorable mention goes to Eyes of the Void, since I'm trying to diversify as a best sequel. It was so good. So good.
Nice.
Okay.
Dang. Heck. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I could have had Lord of Zon Creation as my best sequel, K Fox, but somebody's been slow.
How do you know that it will be best sequel without reading it?
I say it could have been. I'm leaving open the possibility.
You you just
It's
want.
it's a possibility. It doesn't have to be like if I had read it, it would be guaranteed. It's like if I read it, it could have been in the run. Who knows?
Oh my god, I did not, sorry, I did not see this question. Is this question their favorite reread or something you would like to reread?
That
Oh.
was on Joanna's thing. You said to keep Joanna's questions.
I mean, something you would like to reread out of the books we have read this year or out
Yes.
any book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your favorite reread this year or something you'd like to reread this year.
If you
Okay,
haven't
go ahead, Evie.
So,
Persuasion.
no, I'm currently rereading Persuasion, Pete. So, but of things that I actually have reread, compulsory, required, obligated mention of The Spear Cuts Through Water. I did reread that this year. Surprising no one. But my actual answer is actually the first book that I read finished this year, and it was my reread of Children of Dune. And technically, it's a reread. But actually, it's been 20 years since I first and last read this book, so it felt like reading it anew. And it's great. It holds up.
Dune is underrated.
Indeed. Dune Messiah is still my favorite, but Pete, if we ever get to discuss this book as a follow-up to our Dune Messiah discussion, I would argue that this is better than Dune. So
yeah, I mean, there are definitely people that argue that it's just the same story of Dune over again. I've heard. I haven't like analyzed it that way.
I would argue it's not, but I would still say it's better than Dune.
Yeah.
Like in my as I'm rereading, shuffling in my head.
But like it's also books. Like the themes of the first two books are kind of wrapped up, so he's like starting to go into the themes of these two. Like he's starting to go into the free will stuff. So he's
And it
kind of
gets
like,
weird.
oh,
It gets weird.
I mean, it's not got Emperor of Dune weird yet, but it starts there.
He gives you a taste of what's to come in God Emperor Dune.
I really don't
So-
want tastes. I just no, please no. Now then I hear getting quotes from 5 and 6 Chapter Host and Heretics. I'm never reading Chapter House and Heretics. I say that, but who knows what happens in the future.
You can't call yourself a Dune fan, Pete. It's fine. Anyways, but something I would like to reread, which actually I did not prepare for this one.
Yes.
Other this part of it, other than the Spear Cuts Through Water again, and finishing my reread of Persuasion, I will reread Persuasion again probably. Most definitely. I'd like to reread The Vanished Birds. Surprising no one. And I would like to reread. I need to get to my reread of The Mad Ship by Robin Hobb because I reread Ship of Magic earlier this year, and it has been too long since I've read a Robin Hobb book. I would like to reread The Mad Ship or Mad Ship, depending on the version. Anyways, sorry, Pete, go ahead. Go, get.
So I've actually had 2 rereads this year, which is wild. Because I usually don't. Wait, I did last year. I had like 5 last year, but they're all the same series, but it's okay. So I had City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky and Heir to the Empire by Timothy Zahn, which I just finished. I'm going to go with City of Last Chances, 100%. I'll probably reread it again eventually when like book 4 comes out or whatever. I'm probably going to reread House of Open Wounds before Shattered Earth comes out, or House of Day of Shattered Faith comes out, which is going to be fun. But yeah, City of Last Chances, it's great. And if we're going to do both and not just I would say I would like to reread Black Company eventually again, because I really love, like, that continues to be the one that is like my favorite of all of the Black Company that I've gotten through, which is 6 of them. City Last Chances, it's great. If people need descriptions of City Last Chances, it's just kind of vibey. Lots of different POVs. It's about a revolution in a city and the persecution and oppressiveness of everybody involved and the divisiveness of everything, of just like the almost realities of having a lot of different interests in a revolution. But it's about a bunch of characters on the fringes of all this. Of at least the ones that you could arguably call main characters. There are like POVs from people that are kind of in the center of some of it, but the main characters, once the POVs solidify in this vibrant city, this magical city, there's like a forest, there's a factories with a bunch of demons. Yeah.
Sorry, Pete, go ahead. We are laughing
ahead,
at
I
this
just
way.
finished.
This is why he's just been like yapping on and on. He knows we're not paying attention because I'm just teasing you and you're
I'm just
answering the
filling
chat,
filling airtime, Anitha. You know, just keep this going instead of you just like.
But yeah, City of Last Chances is great. Y'all should read it. If
Sure.
I had read House of Open Wounds this year, that would have been my favorite sequel, hands down. It's so good.
Okay. I wasn't prepared for this question. Obviously, I haven't reread any books. I haven't read any of books. I picked this book for another answer, but I'm choosing this one. I'm going with Starless Sea. I loved this book. Actually, it was a complete surprise. Initially, immediately after this, my slump started. I was planning on filming a video, all the theories I have about the Starless Sea and the end of Starless Sea. But now I don't, because of the slump I put me that I was in, I don't even remember most of them. So to do that video, I have to reread anyway, and I also want to read it. So I'm going to restart.
Nice.
Next. Wait, before going to that. Let me check few comments. Harry Potter series, Sarah is reading. And K Fox favorite is Rise of Empire. Alethea is reading Seven Husbands and Lunar Chronicles. That's K Fox.
Starless Sea is great.
Question 5. Genre you have been loving or reading the most? Evie, you wanted?
Yeah, Anita just let the cat out of the bag. Contemporary romance. Well, okay, so she wants me to say contemporary romance. I would say that's the most surprising genre that I've been loving because Emily Henry overtook my life. But
Christine,
technically,
I loved the audio of Starless Sea. Thank you,
so
Evie.
now
You only
you
gave
want
you
song?
you
Get it,
gave me
Lisa.
idea to interrupt, so I remember
said
that.
Pete. I said Pete. You can interrupt Pete, not me. No, I'm just kidding.
One of my favorite audios, Christine. Go ahead, Evie.
But technically, from a statistical standpoint, because I use a spreadsheet and I track this crap, my third most read genre is romance, which includes the contemporary romance, at 13% of the books I've read so far this year. My second most read genre is sci-fi, which is 23%, but my most read genre, surprising no one, is fantasy at 40%.
Wow.
I'm
That
a
was my
fantasy
surprise
booktuber,
noise.
I guess. So
Pete.
I mean, if we're going statistically, I could probably just look at my spreadsheet and which I don't
listen,
track actually.
I only prepare I'm going statistics because I like having numbers. You
I
do
look
Pete.
at my spreadsheet and I see pretty colors, and I really don't actually do things outside of.
Evie, Pete, please don't aspire to Evie. Then I'll be left alone. Aspire to me. How disorganized and undisciplined
I
I
mean,
am.
to be
So you'll
fair, I
feel
only
better also.
sporadically update Goodreads, so there we go. But yeah, I've definitely read a lot of fantasy. Most of what I read is fantasy. If we want to do like the whole like what is like the genre that's been kind of surprising you, then it's definitely historical fiction. Because Cicero, Odd Claudius was really good, and Nero's shaping up to be pretty decent so far. So I'm enjoying the writing in Nero, by the way. Like the writing is actually kind of gripping.
You. Sorry.
Like it's weird to see. I mean, Caligula's still creepy as all get out. Claudius, I've barely seen him on page, but it's like I don't know. The writing style is fine. The writing style is good. I'm not in love with any of the characters because I know too much about them, but outside of Claudius is great, and I'm not looking forward to seeing your creepy Claudius.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay,
Anita?
my answer is almost similar to Pete. I mostly read obviously fantasy. Actually, this year I am reading a lot of sci-fi. A lot, as in we are doing Final Architecture read along. So I read two sci-fi. I will be reading a lots of Uncreation and Mercy of Gods. That is like four sci-fi in first 6 months. That's,
Nice.
and historical fiction as well. I read I Claudius the God, and Nero. So
I forgot that Mercy of Gods is considered a sci-fi. For whatever reason, I thought it was a fantasy. Never mind.
Kinda
Carry
itching
on.
to read some more sci-fi. I might need to update my TBR for the next few months and be like, where because I have a bunch of random sci-fi books that I need to add on and actually read it. I also kind of read Neuromancer, but Alan's not going to like me for that.
yeah, by the way, I'm reading fantasy romance as well. I'm not sure if you guys consider these books fantasy romance, but these are listed as fantasy romance in Goodreads, like Emily
It's
Wilde's
whatever you want it to be. Do you want it to be this
Encyclopedia of Fairies. I read that. I read Starless Sea. I will be reading Strange the Dreamer, so could be that.
It's whatever
Okay.
you want it to be, Anita.
Go ahead.
Yeah, actually.
New release you haven't read yet, but want to.
All right. I took the
A
dust
great
jacket off of this because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read this. But I still haven't read it. It's The Angel of Indian Lake by Stephen Graham Jones, the third and final book in the Indian Lake trilogy. So it's horror. So
That's the Good Indians trilogy, right?
no,
Good.
that is a standalone. So this is the My Heart is a Chainsaw or Fear
Ah,
the Reaper.
okay.
So
False advertising.
wait,
They
what?
both have Indian in the title, so they should be in the same series.
Exactly.
Gosh, it's
that's
false
that's
advertising.
that's so racist of.
Haku's publisher.
That's
That's very genre. What is it? Genre
Genreist.
genre biased. Like it's not. It's horror, Pete, not fantasy. So
Look, if 3 books have blood in the title, they both should be in the same series. I don't care if they're written by different authors.
go ahead, Pete.
Okay, so I definitely have a list here. Um, Gloves of Aeons, which is Calatian Saga #3, even though it was released
It came
last
out this year, last year, right?
year. All right, I'm counting it because it's there. Eventually it'll be Calatian 4 as well. Um,
There
uh,
is a question for that. Wait for the upcoming releases. This is already released books.
I'm
okay,
having a brain fart. Who writes the Galatian
and
books?
Andrew D. Meredith.
not Galatian. Galatians is the Bible, Evie. Um,
I
Calatian
don't.
Saga is Andrew D. Meredith.
Oh, okay. I don't
Evie,
know
this is
what
the
you're
U.S. of
saying.
A. Everybody knows every book of the Bible in the U.S. of
Nice.
A. Evie, gosh,
The way you're pronouncing it, it makes it sound like you're saying Galatians.
I'm stuffed up.
What is Galatians?
Galatians
It's
is the book in the Bible.
the
The Bible
Christian
is the book.
Christian Bible.
Yes.
What
One.
other Bible is there? You know what?
So, okay, so weird language thing. The Bible is a book, and in the Bible,
Oh
there's
God, we're gonna go down this route.
and we call them books. It's really, when you think about it, it's very stupid.
Okay, let's come
Anyway,
back to the topic. Go ahead, Pete.
I mean, we are talking about books technically.
It's true.
Um,
But
and
the
I
Bible
guess
is
the new release you haven't read yet but want to. Maybe, Revelations 2.0, like the sequel to
Yeah.
Revelation.
Who knows? Somebody's probably written another
Anyways,
prophetic book about Trump.
Service model. Service model.
Yes, service model is on there. Service model, but Anita won't let me read it. Saturation point. It's not technically out yet. Mercy of the Gods. I could have an arc, but I don't.
Nah, Mercy of the Gods isn't released yet. Keep it for next question. Continue. Sorry.
Fine.
everybody in their freaking arcs.
Right? That's true, Derry. But like they call them books, and it's a book, so I find that reductive. To a certain-
Anyways,
reductive.
anyways.
No,
Any other new releases you haven't read yet but want to?
yeah, we're just gonna go with service model. I have it. Anita won't let me read it. It's about a robot. It puts the butler in Butlerian jihad. That's what he said, and I find that a clever turn of phrase.
Okay.
You do know
I'm
that's
not
a
going
Dune
to-
reference, right? Pete?
I do know that's a Dune reference.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
That's why it's a clever.
Sorry, Anita, go ahead. Reign in this chaos.
Okay. Wait. Sorry.
Also, Venge, the funny thing is those books that are in the Bible all have chapters. So what do you call the chapters within the books within the book?
Okay.
Anyway, keep going.
Goddess of River by Vaishnavi Patel. This is a retelling of River Ganga, which is a longest river in India. Longest, I'm not sure, one of the longest maybe. It ties to Hindu mythology. Even today, people believe that if they dip in once, at least once in the river, it will cleanse our sins. So this is the story of that goddess, river goddess, and what due to some curse she takes a human form and she marries a king and she has a son and they get separated, and this ties to the story of Mahabharata, that is an Indian epic. If you have heard of it, if you have read Palace of Illusions or any other Mahabharata based books, so this will have spoilers of Mahabharata if you care about that. Anyway, this book and Alien Clay by Adrian Tchaikovsky and Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Mostly that, mostly them.
It's like we
And
should read
also,
this month.
Bloodstones by Tori Tekken. That is high on my TBR.
Wait, that came out this year? I thought that was. Oh my god, what is time? Did that come out last year or this year?
It did come out.
Last year, I think, November end. No, once that is Sita, that is from Ramayan. I will get to that book as well in this video. Okay,
What's the next question?
next question. Most anticipated or most anticipated for the second or half of the year, release or read? Okay.
Oh crap, I didn't plan for this one. Did I plan for this one? Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I did. Okay. Thank you, Notes app. So, Days of Shattered Faith by Adrian Tchaikovsky, the next book in the Tyrant Philosophers. So
Heck
excited.
yeah.
Because it comes out.
Anyone counting how many times we said Adrian Tchaikovsky in this stream? Almost for every question.
It's if someone is making a drinking game out of it, I'm so sorry for your liver. But yeah, so third book in the Tyrant Philosopher series, and it is coming out in December in the UK. And you bet your butt I pre-ordered the UK copy because I'm not waiting until March of next year. And then also A Sunny Place for Shady People by Mariana Enriquez. It's a new short story collection by Enriquez, translated into English from Spanish. And I'm very excited about it. That comes out in September.
Nice. Hey, John. Pete, now go ahead. You have a list, right?
Okay, so everybody drink up Adrian Tchaikovsky, Days of Shattered Faith. Also drink up again because Adrian Tchaikovsky, Saturation Point. Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank.
I forgot that was coming out this year too.
I think I have it pre-ordered somewhere, so eventually I'll get it. I have so much on my backlog, so it's eventually. Reckoning of Roku. This is like the first in the Avatar book series that is not written by FCE, I think. It's written by somebody else. I don't remember who it is. But this is about the Avatar right before Aang, when the Fire Nation decided to screw with everybody else. So that's going to be fun. Other books coming out this year? I don't know. I think that's about it.
Pete, you're not saying He Who Shall Not Be Named?
Oh,
that was assumed. Wind and Truth by Brandon frickin' Sanderson.
thank you. He cannot. He shall not be named on my channel. I'm just joking. You can go ahead.
Oh, also, Calatian Saga number 4. I don't remember what it's going to be called. Andrew T. Meredith's fourth book.
Dread Knight.
Also,
Dread Knight.
actually, to beat Anitha, and maybe she wasn't even going to say this, but the audiobook of the audiobook of The Way of Adan.
Heck
yes, you have to say that. I will say that. Thank you.
Also very excited. I can't wait to hear all the Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions.
I'll say in order. Mine is My Mercy of Gods by James S. A. Corey. That means by Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. Daniel Abraham is one of my favorite authors. I have Red Galley arc for Mercy of Gods. I will be reading that in this month. And audiobook of Way of Eden by Philip Chase. Audiobook narrator is going to be Alan. He shared few chapters in our Patreon app, and he's wonderful, amazing. So everyone go and buy Way of Eden audiobook.
Yeah, Ben, we're all just gonna be imagining like Suave Alan and Texas Alan, and all the Allens. Yeah,
and the next release I'm waiting for is sequel to House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, Somewhere Beyond the Sea.
I forgot that's
It's
coming out.
coming out in September. So that's the one.
Nice. Anything else?
Hey, Alithia, I just said that.
Jinx.
Next. Okay, here we go. Oh my god. Ranting shots. Biggest disappointment. Evie?
Private Rights by Julia Armfield. It. What's that meme gift thing? My disappointment
My
was
day is
immeasurable.
ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable, or the other way around. I don't know.
There you go. That's it. This was just to completely steal Yolanda's explanation of why it didn't work for her or why it disappointed her. Is it overstayed its welcome? It should have been shorter. The ending was ridiculous, and for my words, it was just Armfield was had a lot of individual things that I think were interesting and could have been really compelling, and were really actually compelling, but it just felt very not even half baked. It felt like it didn't feel like it was what's the word? It just felt like it was an attempt, it was a draft, this was a not even workshopped. And she didn't even try. Like, it just felt so it was just so bad. I made a stupid analogy to a weird baking thing about she tried to make a cake and she didn't even prepare the ingredients to make the cake, so she didn't even like crack the egg. Whatever. It's just it's so disappointing, especially after Our Wives Under the Sea was so wonderful. But Pete, you muted yourself.
I mean, by Alan's rules, The Expanse should be terrible, but it's not. It's amazing. It's actually really good. Anyways.
Ooh, that's cool.
I don't know about you, but I just don't read books I'm not gonna like. So like, I don't have any big disappointments.
Nobody reads. Okay. Okay. Because we want you not to read Claudius the God. Anyway, guys, my answer you should all know, because this book single handedly put me and Alan in reading slump. This is Claudius the God. This is sequel to I Claudius by Robert Graves. I Claudius, I loved it. It was a 5-star book for me. It has, though, I mean, Robert Graves doesn't give more depth into the characters. He just gives us the events that happened at that time. So, but even then, the intrigue we got, it's like Game of Thrones level intrigue, which really happened. Though I Claudius is more about the emperors Augustus, Tiberius, and Caligula. The intrigue was so compelling. I was completely engrossed in it and I loved it. But this one, oh my god. Actually, Claudius is one of the best emperors, Alan says, and I really liked Claudius, but his reign, the events he focused on, and he kept switching narrative. Like, he starts talking about one event, he says, wait, I need to tell you guys about something, and he completely switches to some other narrative. And there is a war in Claudius the God. Usually I like going to wars and battle strategies, I love them in books. But in this one, instead of talking about battle strategies, he focused on what rituals Claudius followed, how many animals they killed, what did they do with that blood. I understand at the time they were very religious, they were very into that superstitions, but still, it did not make a good read. That's all I can say.
How much
Oh
of
my
the
god.
blood was drunk?
Huh?
How much of the blood was drank? Drank. It's drank, not drunk.
They did not drink blood, but they did something with the blood.
Oh, okay. You mentioned they did things with the blood, so obviously the first.
Also, Pete, obviously, I don't read looking for disappointment books. Like Claudius was 5 star. Who knows this is going to be disappointment?
I just know that's what I do, and like even the books that like I DNF
We
technically, I'm like
warned you not to read Claudius the God, otherwise, you would
exactly,
have fallen into the trap.
exactly. But like Sailing to Sarantium and Fred 7, I enjoyed them. They just weren't the vibe at the time that I was reading them. So Alethea and Mike, you're my people.
That's so nice, Mike. You're lucky.
It's because of all the Tchaikovsky books he's been reading.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly. Last year, my least rating I gave was 3.25. This year, I already have three books that is less than 3 stars. So I'm having a bad year.
How dare you?
Hey, Matt.
Dang, K Fox not liking live.
What is LOLL?
Liza Locklear.
Lies of Loclamora. Ah,
She really bounced off of that one. I need to have like a more in-depth talk to you about why, because I'm very curious. I feel like you've said what's it one or two things, and I've forgotten completely, and I'm very sorry.
okay. Biggest surprise of the year so far.
I just realized that I didn't prepare adequately and I can't find the book. Dadgummit!
Supposed to be the one to be prepared here, Evie.
I know I'm a failure.
You're letting
But
me down.
it is, and Chadia, hopefully you will like this. It is The Gate to Women's Country by Sherry S. Tepper.
Ooh, I thought Boy's Life.
That's a different answer, but okay. Spoiler alert, everyone. I really, 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 really liked Gate to Women's Country. And I really liked Sherry S. Tepper's writing to the point that I was like, I need to read more of her. But guess who hasn't read more of Sherry S. Tepper?
You.
Nope, haven't. So
Only read 13 Psychosis.
yeah, and it's a sci-fi. So
What's
I guess I like sci-fi now. So
oh my gosh, you're gonna turn into a sci-fi nerd and start talking about gravity drives all the time.
just wait for my cyberpunk arc. It's gonna be great.
Oh heck yeah, let's buddy read Neuromancer.
That's right.
I don't know. It's interesting. It'd be interesting.
Pete, go ahead.
So I have two, so I'll talk about them both. I don't know if I'll talk about. I know one. I won't. I don't know. I don't know about these questions. So we're gonna say. I think the biggest surprise of how much I loved it was Alien Clay. I knew I was gonna like it because I like Tchaikovsky, but I did not expect to love it as much as I did. I think it's a very thematically rich story. Because I was like, going into it, I was kind of just like, hey, it's a political dissident that's sent to a prison planet thingamajigger, and it's a really weird alien ecology book. It's just weird alien ecology, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't really have like huge expectations for this, and then he does some things with the story and the themes of the story and some other stuff, and it was just fantastic, and I loved it. Yeah,
That's so nice.
it was great.
Okay.
I was really involved. And then the second answer that I'll say is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. Shout out to Humble Bundle, which is an amazing website. Go check it out. I get a lot of music from there, really cheap for my videos and stuff. So if you hear random tunes in my videos, I probably got it from Humble Bundle.
I do have a question, Pete.
Yeah.
Your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
When I was younger, I was boxed into Michelangelo, and I think I still like Michelangelo because, how everybody has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that they are. With the group of people I was around, I was boxed into Michelangelo, and that tracks. So yeah,
Donatello.
it's
Tainted Cup.
definitely
Nice.
one of the TMNT comics, and I have all of them, and I'm eventually going to read The Last Ronin and decide if I actually want to buy it because there's a really nice copy of Barnes & Noble. But yeah, they're great.
Yeah, Donatello, Alethea, let's go.
Nerds. What?
Okay, my biggest surprise is Actually, I already mentioned this for reread, so I wasn't going to mention it. I was going to mention Claudius, but I already mentioned that as well while ranting about Claudius the God. So I'm going again with this Starless Sea. I wasn't expecting it to like this much. I mean, this is a book about books. We go through the process, through the story. I mean, the character reads three more books, so we get to read few chapters of that. Every page, every line, every word, it's like reading poetry. I was completely moved. I was just turning pages. It opened a page I highlighted, and there are always those who would watch Alexandria burn. There always have been, there always will be. So there are always guardians.
That sounds like a traitor phrase, and
Ex-
you had that bookmarked, and you want to burn down Alan's channel.
No, I'm saying so there are always guardians. I am the guardian. That's what I'm telling.
I just started burning down Alexandria.
Many have given their lives in service. So we are giving our lives in service. That's what
You had
I'm going
this
to say.
bookmarked on purpose. This wasn't a
No,
random.
I was just turning it. It opened that page.
You had like a little piece of paper in there or something. I,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, I'll read one more. Be brave, she says. Be bold, be loud. Never change for anyone but yourself. Any soul worth their star stuff will take the whole package as is and however it grows. Don't waste your time on anyone who doesn't believe you when you tell them how you feel. On the Tuesday in September, when you think you have no one to talk to you, call me, okay? I'll be waiting by the phone. Every line, I can't tell you, it spoke to my heart. It's all vibes. I did not expect to love this book so much. It's so good.
I was gonna try and be funny and try and find a way to like twist that quote into like being
same.
anti Alexandria loyalist, but that's a really nice.
I think the Tuesday in September is the date of her revolution.
Okay, one last thing I'll read. If you were to tell anyone what you know or what you think you know, no one would believe you. Then the other person said, because it's
Revolution.
too weird. Because it's too weird. Then that person says, because you are a woman, she said. That makes you easier to write off as crazy, hysterical. If you were a man, it might be an issue.
I will say, in all seriousness, I loved The Starless Sea when I read it a couple years ago. So if I had read it this year, it would have been the biggest surprise as well, because it's just so.
I do need to read it at some point. I don't know when it will be.
I tried to make you read with me, but you said no. Obviously, you don't listen to me. You need other people also. Yes. Okay, Fox. Okay, next question. Favorite new author?
Oof.
Emily Henry, for sure. Well, so I guess technically she's not new to me because I read Beach Read a couple years ago, but I mean, I can't say anyone other than Emily Henry right now, I feel like. Like potentially Robert McCammon, but I've only read Boy's Life. Yeah. Also, I guess Mervyn Peake, you could add him in there because his prose is gorgeous. So, yeah, those are my answers.
Evie, you're the expert on Emily Henry now.
No, Ben, read. There are other better romance writers. Don't read Emily Henry. Sorry.
He's not asking if as to start for romance. He's just asking the best Emily Henry. So I would say honestly, just pick your favorite color and then go with that book cover. Except do not start with People We Meet on Vacation. That is the worst place to start.
Yeah, everyone says that. I mean, I heard bad reviews about only that book. For every other book, there are like people pick them as favorites. Hey, Thank you. That's my pen name, Matt. Thank you for choosing me.
Mark Haber?
Yeah.
Uh, Anita Bruckner. Okay, Pete, go ahead. Sorry, Evie.
I
Anita, you're not going to respond to Darius' comment?
She
I
did. And
already responded. Yes.
all
Oh,
right,
I
we need to bring
expected
out
more
like
from you. I'm sorry.
the cheering and the clapping and does
I
anybody?
Yeah.
expected more. I'm so sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
already clapped. I said yay. We both said yay. You were busy talking about Emily Henry. You did not listen to us.
It's true. Anyways, Pete, go ahead. Sorry.
Technically, Le Guin isn't a new to be author because I've read Where the Wizard of Earthsea, but like, okay,
When she
dispossessed.
started LPQ Shadow in Summer.
Pete, say that again. I don't think people heard you in the back. He's doing a bit. Let him finish his bit.
The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Freaking fantastic. I actually was coughing there, so it turned into a bit. Um, I cannot say how much I loved it. This was an amazing book. It was kind of just like it's about an anarchist that just goes down to the capitalist planet and then like a, what Le Guin is kind of just talking about anarchy and how the ideal society would be like formed and like all that, not formed but like run. And it was just so interesting to read. Like I'm not an anarchist by any measure, but I enjoy reading about somebody's vision for the future who is realistically and lovingly putting it together, if that makes sense. Right? Because like there's definitely things in the society that can poke apart. There were things that the anarchists said about the capitalist society that was in there that I'm like, yeah, you're just like I feel like she purposely put it in there either because it's Le Guin's worldview and it's kind of naive, or it's because it's the I don't know, but like there's things I can pick apart, but it was just so lovingly crafted and well written and amazing, and I want to read more by like her sci-fi and all this other stuff now, and I'm reading some of her nonfiction where she's talking about like fantasy and sci-fi right now, and she's absolutely based about that stuff. It's great.
I love Le Guin, so I like that answer. Again, Pete, you did not read when I recommended Elsie. It's okay.
I read Wizard of Earthsea.
I have a Le Guin shelf here. You
I
can't
read
see. I
Wizard of
think once
Earthsea.
that fills, I'll move
Excuse me.
that here and I'll move Robin Hood down.
Excuse me. I read Wizard of Earthsea back in the day.
Try, continue, and try.
I will.
What is that second book? Oh my god!
Tombs of Atuan.
Thank you. Tombs of Edwin. Yeah, I keep remembering Tehanu.
I will, K Fox. I absolutely will,
We,
especially because of
we
what
will read it
you're
soon.
talking about.
Anyway, this is the question I struggle most because last year I read such great books. By this time, I have four new authors I talked about, like Chitrabanerjee Divakruni, like Robert Harris, Andy Dumeade, Thiago Abdullah. This year I struggled, but I decided to go with two others. Technically,
You're betraying Derry.
eh, only because people already saw those. Just for a change, Terry, I'll move them back. I would never betray. You know, my heart always has Farsi trilogy, so I never betray them. Those books and you. Okay, first author is J.C.M. Byrne. He wrote a Wistful Ascending. I read this last year, just after filming this video, so I did not get to talk about the author in that video, so I'm counting that from then here like 1 year. So this is the new author I tried. This is book one in Hybrid Helix. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy movie, you will love this book. It has witty hero and fun banter, found family, complete action, not a single dull moment. It was instant 5 stars for me, but it is also special to me because the main character, he is like half human, half alien. He grew up in Canada, but his mother immigrated from India, from the same state as me. So there are so many cultural references I connected to. Whenever he meets a new alien in the spaceship he was living in, he talks about in our culture. He was talking about the Indian culture, my culture. So I connected to so many things. This series, this character, this book is so close to me. So JCM Byrne. And the next author I'm going to pick is When Not Gone Well. I haven't finished this book. This is the first book I'm reading. Even then, I'm like 150 pages in. I'm choosing him because this book is so tough for me, because he was talking about, this is author retelling, and there is so much war. He was talking about raping, plundering. There is so much violence and rape, though we don't see on page, nothing graphic. He talks about it. I mean, we understand there is something going on in the background. It was so tough, it was so cringe. But if it was someone else, I would have DNF the book. I could not take it. But even then, every day I'm going back and I'm continuing, I'm reading. I kept thinking about it. His writing is so good. He's pulling me in with his writing, though it was difficult subject for me. He's a fantastic author. I think I'm going to love this series, and I'll definitely read Sharp when, if Ben is here. Yeah, so that's my answer.
Pete, you're being shamed by Derry. She's using your full name, so.
No, actually, she's responding to somebody completely different. That's not me.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Listen, headcanon. It's still.
Christine, Christine, I like have Talia Hilbert books, and also 7 Days in June. But to be fair to Emily Henry, I only read Beach Read, and it was not a big hit for me. It was only 3.5. And even Talia Hibbert books, I gave second book actually less than three stars only. I like the first and third books. I was giving tough time to Evie. At the same time, somehow I liked Talia Hibbert books because the issue she gave, that real life problems she gave depth to those characters, and I could understand their trauma and their problems well. I could relate to them. Somehow, Beach Read missed the mark for me. But maybe if I read more like Happy Place, like Evie, maybe I would enjoy it as well. This stream actually, I was only giving tough time to Evie. That's all.
She hates me. Confirmed. It's fine. I know, when I know I am loving Winter King. I don't know much about other story other than couple of movies I watched, so I did not mind the slow start. I like learning the. I am a fantasy reader and I like slow burn books, so I am enjoying learning the world and these characters. Definitely.
Look, in the world of star inflation, 3 stars means you hated it.
Matt, you should start now because I'm only like 150 pages in. I'm going to read this very slowly so you can catch up to me easily.
Next question.
Okay. Favorite romance or fictional crush? Evie?
It's fine. Okay. Hear me out. Mergen from the Black Company. Because I read Bleak Seasons? No, I read the one before that. I read Dreams of Steel, Bleak Seasons, and She is the Darkness this year so far. I love Mergen so much, you have no idea.
Morgan's
Is
the new narrator that I'm gonna hit. Is right? Okay.
I love Arya.
Alan
Arya.
hates it, but it's fine.
Uh, Alan is wrong. Bleak Seasons is amazing. So yeah, that's it. That's I mean, also any of the romances like Harriet and Wynne from Happy Place, great, awesome, fantastic. Daphne and Miles from Funny Story, great, amazing, awesome. Nora and Charlie from Book Lovers, great, awesome, amazing.
Um,
Agree, Matt. I completely agree, Matt.
Brash and Tell from Ship of Magic, since I reread that this year.
mhm.
Brashen, I love Brashen so much. Anyways, Pete,
So,
who's your fictional
I,
fish?
I don't have an answer to this, so I'm just gonna list off women that can step on me from these books.
The lady?
The lady, Angel of face punching in you in the face from Shards of Earth.
Yeah.
Oh,
There.
Ollie. Okay, okay.
Not Ollie. The
Solace.
the
Solace. Oh
yeah.
my God, how did I forget? Yes, Solace is such
God.
an Alice.
Um,
I understand.
the chick from Save Us Corvax that's always lying. Um,
Starasha. I love Starasha.
do I
Good
want to
choice.
put Livy on this list? Is that too controversial?
Seriously?
TLG.
Pete, no. Livia,
This is a
how
troll
can you?
list. You realize that, right?
Oh, Kim!
Yes, Terry Carson is amazing. I love him. Rainwell's.
What else we got?
Poor Kim.
The girlfriend from Fred, who's a demon. Are there anybody else? Oh, Mara Jade from Star Wars. There we go. That's the end. Mara Jade is amazing. You just don't know her that well yet, Evie. Gosh, give her a chance.
I mean, I would have picked Heir to the Empire as a disappointing, but I honestly didn't have any good expectations for that book anyways. So
That's
it
fine.
wouldn't disappoint if I had nothing.
You know what, Matt's sorry, Evie, for
Oh,
interrupting.
you're good.
Maybe Avienda character gets better going forward in the series because everyone keeps saying they love Avienda, but I read only till like book 5. I haven't seen her much. I mean, like so as to become her as favorite character. Yet to see. So, but I get it.
Also, K Fox, thank you. That was the intention of that statement.
To make coffee go
Okay.
out of her nose.
Or it's the highest honor.
Okay, unfortunately, I don't have any fictional crush or favorite romance. I read romance books like Emily Wiles is a big flop for me. I did not like. First of all, there is not romance in that book. It is supposed to be listed as fantasy. It was offensive that they market it as romance actually. Guns of the Dawn has better romance and more romance than Emily Wiles' Encyclopedia of Fairies. K Fox, I'm
You, did,
sorry.
you didn't like the romance in Starless Sea?
Starless Sea is all about the vibes and how much it moved me. But romance, I don't know, somehow it did not draw my attention. I liked it when I was reading it, but I.
It's not a memorable, like, oh my god, I love this couple.
Exactly. And I read 7 Days in June. I liked the book, but somehow I did not get any crush on the guy. I'll pick.
Sounds like I dodged a bullet by DNFing him then.
No, it was a good book. You should read it. I was going to pass it, but then I remember Germanicus from I Claudius.
Heck yeah,
I'm
Germanicus.
like, oh my god, how much
Germanicus.
he's Claudius' brother. He should have been an emperor after Tiberius. He's Caligula's father, but unfortunately he got poisoned and he was dead. It's not a spoiler. It happened. Real events happened in history 2000 years before. But oh my god, I cried so much. my heart still breaks for him.
I don't know how such a hellspawn as Caligula came out from that man, but like it happened. Man was too concentrated on his soldiers, so he wasn't able to be a. I mean, to be fair, Caligula's brothers and sisters died, so like.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't get too attached. Don't name them because you'll get attached. I'm pretty sure that was the parenting model in Ancient Rome, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Just name them just what they do is they have a bucket of all the names of their ancestors and they just take them out. Like Nero's uncle or uncle was called Tiberius Claudius Nero, which is just 3 emperors' names, but like Nero wasn't an emperor yet, neither was Claudius. Tiberius was the emperor at the time. It's complicated. But like they all have the same names. Gaius, Julius, Caesar, Tiberius, Claudius. Julia's in there like 4 times. Agrippina. They all have the same names. I want the Roman Republic back a little bit.
See, Marianne's got my back. Don't get attached. So.
Well.
Okay. Newest favorite character.
Ooh, I gotta think about that.
So.
That's true.
Idris Telemier. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the audiobooks, so I'm just Idris. There you go. From the Final Architecture by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So I know that he frustrated you, especially in Eyes of the Void, Anita, but I really, really connected with him. And just
okay, to be
perspective.
To be fair, I like him as well, but
you were frustrated with his communication. I get. But I as a sad girl who loves sad books
and sad boys
Idris was my sad boy. And yes, Kit is also great. See, I cut my cutoff was June 30th or 31st, however many days are in June. So I finished Lords of Uncreation.
What? 7 days in June. What?
Shut up, Pete. So anyways, my cutoff was the end of June, so I couldn't include Lords of Uncreation in my thing. Otherwise, I love Kit so much. Kit's amazing. But yes, highly recommend the Final Architecture trilogy. Adrian Tchaikovsky made me believe in believable found families. And it is a trope that I now understand why people love so much when they say, oh, I love found families. Seeing Tchaikovsky do it so well in that the Vulture God crew is wonderful. And I love Idris because he's the sad boy to my sad girl. So that's my answer. Pete, what's yours?
Shout out to Kit. Kit is a very much an honorable mention because accounting rep. Heck yeah. Also Fred is an honorable mention but he's not
accounting rep.
Accounting rep. Cicero could be a honorable mention, but I discovered him last year because I read Imperium first last year. What else we got? Alien Clay, Dispossessed, City Last Chances, Savus Corax, Claudius.
Savus Corax! How can you not pick him? Oh my god, Savus Corax, I decided. Pete's favorite character is Savus Corax.
I would actually say it's probably somewhere along the lines of Goblin and the 2 wizards from Black Company.
One-Eyed Goblin, baby!
Heck
yeah!
Goblin Supremacy. They are just amazing. I have to talk about Black Company a little bit because I just feel like, I don't know, reading those books felt like I was just weirdly coming home. Like I see them as like
they are my cozy.
Right? They feel so cozy. I don't know why.
But they're so dark. Pete, all right. Anita, either you hop on this train or Pete and I are gonna just run off on it together and get on these train tracks, and we're gonna do like a discussion about Black Company.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Whenever I get done, we need to do like a discussion with like Alan and somebody else. About
You
the Black
both
Company.
started it without inviting me, but that's all.
I started
That's
it
all.
back in. All right, here's my Black Company shtick spiel thing. I started Black Company. I finished
Whenever
it.
you started it, same response. I know you started it last year, not with Pete. But whenever you started it, how does my response change? Why do you think my response would change
So,
based
Anita,
on
I'm
your
defending myself.
starting date?
I'm defending myself.
I regret nothing because if we had been buddy reading it, I would not have been read it by now.
These are
Kick him from the stream, Anitha.
guys, you witnessed it. You all witnessed it. What Pete said.
Look, I'm not
You're
wrong.
talking. My favorite characters, entire crew, Welcher God crew from Shards of Earth. I like Ollie. I mean, I liked Ollie more in Eyes of the Void. Actually, she carried that book for me. She's so fun. She's on action focused. I loved her POV in Eyes of the Void, and I liked entire crew, Chris, Kit, as those three mostly than Solace. Actually, sorry, no, I shouldn't apologize to you, deserve it. And I like Idris also. Love the crew, Vulture God crew. Also, I completely forgot that I read Quaint. This is what happens if I don't load in Goodreads. Andrew D. Meredith's Quaint Creatures, his cozy fantasy. I liked Norik Soft Step. Is that the name?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty
Okay.
sure.
He's a veteran.
Sorry.
Pete, say that.
It's an inspector.
No,
Better?
dungeon inspector plus veterinarian. Animal doctor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That.
Veterinarian?
Yeah, that. So it's a fun book actually. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. So I like that character also.
Yeah, Norik Softstep, that's his name. And you see his
And I also like that zombie guy, Simacrion.
Oh yeah, he's not a zombie, he's a lich. Gosh, that's just racist.
Yeah, same. Yes, Mary. Zombie
Dare
racism.
you call a lich a zombie? Gosh.
Sorry.
Shoot, I forgot his name, but he was great. Yeah, there's so supposedly there's going to be another book with that lich as the main character. Sinacron.
Yeah,
Sinatra.
fun characters actually. It's such a fun book.
Yeah.
Okay,
Also,
next.
shout out to the stream that Anith and I did with Andrew, where Andrew was literally in character the entire time, and I got to ask him all sorts of funky world building questions. Some of them about taxes.
He answered as a character in the book, like Dungeon Inspector. That was fun. Okay.
And then Anitha got bored because
okay, first of all, I did not finish the book. You were asking all the questions from the events happened at the end of the book, which I did not read. And many people in the comments did not read. So they get bored. So I stopped you from asking about the economy of the city they were living in and how tax work in that city.
This is why you are a valuable addition to the stream, Anitha, because you kept me from going off the I went off the deep end, but it's fine.
I still don't forget your betrayal, even after that compliment.
See you, Matt.
Bye, Matt. Thanks for joining.
Bye, Matt.
Also, thank you, K Fox.
Wait, what? Oh, nice. So I actually last minute edition, so I have 2 answers. So Grapes of Wrath. And it's less that it made me cry, and it's more that it made me so it's just so emotionally evocative. Like anger about the world and what the world does to people and individuals. Um, it's a very frustrating, unfortunately, timely book. It's amazing that it's an American literary classic or literature classic, whatever, in the canon. And then the one that Anita has been alluding to and trying to get me to answer, Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. I did not expect to have this book move me so much because it is a coming of age novel about a boy's life. I, in case you cannot tell, am not a boy. I am very much a girl.
Sure.
Well, debatably sometimes, but yes. So, anyways, it's coming of age story about a boy. He's like 11, 12 years old, and there's some magical realism elements into it, and it's very moving in multiple ways, and it's just it's really good. I cannot wait to get to more Robert McCammon because he's a fantastic.
By the way, the book Evie rejected me as buddy to read along. Go ahead, Pete.
Matt on books told me I had to buddy read it with them. It's fine. Carry on. You're on. You muted yourself again, Pete.
Sorry, I didn't want to hear you guys to hear me sneeze my nose like an elephant. Blow my nose.
Wait, nope, that's a horse. Never mind. Carry on.
Fine, I'll imitate it for you.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I started laughing midway through that. That was funny, and it was weird. So I haven't had any books this year make me cry. Again, like what Matt said, sometimes it takes some very specific situations to make me cry. Sometimes it's just like random. You forgot to talk about him. What's a Babar?
Babar? You've never seen Babar the cartoon?
No, what? Okay.
He's a cartoon elephant. Oh god. Okay. Anyways, sorry.
I recognize this
that got me.
cartoon elephant from a brief Google search. Didn't know the name. Yeah, so we'll talk about the book that got me most emotional. It's The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Because that one really affected me. That one was a really fun book. I really loved it. I mean, fun book. It's just a really great book. I really loved it, and I really loved it. Did I say that too many times? It's Ursula K. Le Guin. It's great. Go read it.
Okay. Evie, I forgot another 5-star read book I read this year. Okay, Vansh is here, right? Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Oh my god.
Wait, did we read? I thought we read that last year.
I read in February. So,
You
guys,
were that behind? I could have sworn
Yes.
we read this like this time last year.
you can see my tabs. I tapped it a lot. Anyway, this is a okay, Hindu mythology. Hindu gods are like Greek gods. You have it takes some time, 5 minutes. I'll try to finish fast. So we don't have like one god. We have multiple gods, and we have multiple temples dedicated to each god. And Ram is one of the most popular gods. And we have a saying that every village should have Ram's temple. Even today, even my entire family pray to the god. This is his story. Indian epic called Ramayana. This is a retelling of that book in his wife's POV called Sita. I'll not spoil the book anyway. Oh my god! This is the story we first listened to. We first grew up with actually. We, as in all Hindus, mostly in India. I read so many versions of this story. I watched so many versions of this movie growing up, but all of those from Ram's perspective, obviously, how good, how virtuous Ram is, and those are amazing versions actually. But this one, for the first time, Chitrapani Divakaruni wrote from his wife's POV, and it almost killed me. Oh my god. I loved every page, every word. I can't tell you.
Her prose
Some
is like
Yeah, her
poetry.
prose. We read Palace of the Illusions first. That is the retelling of Mahabharata, another Indian epic, and we loved her writing. And Evie, I, and Chadia are planning to read her entire collection. And the
At
way
this
she
rate,
wrote,
it's gonna take us like 50 years. So
it's in just author's note. I cried actually in author's note. I'll tell you one paragraph I write. I mean, I read. I wrote other books, contemporary novels set in India and America. They featured complicated women protagonists, some strong willed, others downright stubborn, making waves wherever they went and suffering the consequences. I admired these heroines and thought of them as very different from Sita. Wasn't she, after all, good and meek and long suffering, bearing her misfortunes with silent stoicism, the way the perfect Indian woman was supposed to? Wasn't that why, when our elders blessed us, they said, "May you be like Sita"? And wasn't that why that statement always angered me? I relate to those statements so much because that is so true. Sita's journey was so tragic, but even our elders bless us like that actually. May you be like Sita. They want us to be meek and subservient. And oh my god, I can't tell you. Anyway, wonderful book. I cried my heart out. Everyone reads that book. And once you
so
ask me the question, isn't she the lady who jumps into fire? That is Sita.
I did double check. Apparently, I don't have any sense of time. We read that technically in December, so or at least I finished it in December. I think it's more.
Binary.
Bye, Derry.
Bye.
That's the ones who are not being
Bye.
adult. Oh,
Thank
nice.
you.
Heck yeah.
It's great.
By the
Uh,
way, Derry, you left already. You should read this book. You will like it. Okay, book that made you happy.
I mean, happy place, but that also made me cry. But it definitely made me happy. Let me go to my questions again. So yes, I got back into Discworld again. Mort is the one that makes me so happy. I think this is my favorite. I think based on now that I've read Equal Rights and I've since read Guards.
Betrayal. You liked Moat more than Guts?
They're all 5 stars, Anita. But if
Banned.
this if this is any indication, I'm going to love the Death Stuff series. So, I love Death and Death Incarnate because I'm a morbid weirdo. And I love Mort, aka Mortimer. Well, Mortimer, aka Mort, who is the protagonist of this book, and it is so sweet and so lovely, and I love it so much. And I want him. I want to protect Mort at all costs. So you're gonna have to answer, I guess, Anissa, because Pete left.
Okay, same answers as what characters I like. Shards of Earth, because I instantly like the Vulture God crew and I had a lot of fun. Yeah, that book made me sad too. There are moments I cried, but I also had lots of fun. And also Quaint Creatures by Andy Meredith. Those two books.
I guess I could say. Actually, hold on. Let me see what else. While we're waiting for Pete, gonna fill the airtime. Fill the stuff. I don't know. Whatever. So let's see. Book that made me happy. Really made me. Oh, the Iliad. That's more of a surprising thing. I freaking love the Iliad, specifically Emily Wilson's translation. Um, That's all I got. All right, Pete, your answer now. You are still muted, Pete.
Look, I left. So of
This
course
is going to be another drinking game. How many times?
Once
Pete, you're muted.
I haven't read them. I mean, my husband read them. I started them, but we had to move or something. Did not complete, but I know of those books. My husband read the Immortals of Meluha, those first Shiva trilogy, and then Ram's books, Ram Ravana, and he standalone. He just got that from library. Anyway, continue, Pete.
Okay. So I'm trying to
Nice.
think. It's one of two. I haven't really like we talked about Black Company for a little bit, but like, do I have any other thoughts on Black Company besides that? Yeah, so Black Company just makes me happy because it's cozy. It's really weird that it feels cozy to me. It's not like don't take this to say like this is cozy fantasy because it's really not. After
It's
reading
more
Malazan,
classical, I would say. It's more
You
classical.
know, you're betraying Tchaikovsky by choosing Black Company. You
could
are
have
cheating
chosen
on
Alien
Tchaikovsky with
Clay.
Black Company. You're
I
cheating on Tchaikovsky with Black Company.
No, I'm not. I was like
3
Alien
shots
Clay.
in
I
the
already
past
talked
minute,
about.
by the way.
All right. I was thinking about doing Alien Clay, but I already talked about it. So I'm kind of like trying to talk about other
You
things.
already talked about Black Company as well.
Not enough.
Multiple times.
Like once talking about some of the characters. So like, you know, let's talk. Yeah, Black Company is definitely cozy. So yeah, so I read Malazan. I love the Bridge Burners, and then coming to Black Company, I'm like, wow, this is like the Bridge Burners, but better. It is. They are much better than the Bridge Burners, honestly. Much more lovable. The Bridge Burners still hold like a special place of being amazing, but Black Company was really good. Black Company has just a.
By the way, Peter and people whoever are watching, I don't have anything against Black Company. I'm just angry that these two read without me. I can share that love with them. So that's why I'm bitter about it. Yes, Mike.
I
Black
knew you
Company.
had to have a flaw, Mike. I knew you had to have a flaw.
No, Mike is perfect. No flaws.
He's not a perfect Allen loyalist. He hated the Black Company.
Wait, then why didn't you get those hardcovers, Mike? If you DNF'd Black Company, why'd you get those hardcovers?
She's just saying
Because he is Allen loyalist.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
Black Company definitely has a weird structure because it kind of takes place over the course of a campaign, right? And it bounces into like the very specific events, and a lot of the battles of the campaign that we might deem important aren't on screen. We're talking about them afterwards, and we're talking about important things that show us the character of the Black Company.
Yeah, it's boots on the ground of the individual things, and it's not even one campaign. It's like it's kind of like there are sub-series, like there's Books of the North, Books of the South, Glittering
I'm
Stone.
talking about the first. I'm talking about the first book.
Oh, got it. Okay,
The first book is the one that really has the weird, just POV structure, being somebody writing the annals of the company and being like, "Hey, I'm not telling you."
Annals?
Right, annals of the company.
Not annals, Pete. Sphincter. Anyways, carry on.
Sphincter of the Black Company.
This is a family channel. No more talk about Black Company. I'm banning the word. I'm forbidding the word.
Black Company? That's. Anyways.
Continue.
Dark group. Dark military group.
Yeah. It's about a bunch of military guys, and it's really interesting because he's like, yeah, we did some terrible things, but I'm not telling you about those because we're kind of do the thing.
Also, thank
really
you, Mike. You did send me some you sent me the Glittering Stone and a bunch of other Glenn Cook books because cookbooks. Anyway. So I don't watch a lot of stuff to answer the favorite or least favorite book to film adaptations. And Persuasion came out last year, so I can't use that as my answer as least favorite because I genuinely just drank more and more to numb the pain of that awful adaptation. But one thing I did watch this year,
Dune.
Dune Part 2, and it was terrible. Don't at me. Don't fight me. It's bad. Like, anyone that likes it obviously doesn't like Dune. So, I'm just saying.
All right, I'm gonna come at the
Justice
opposite
for Lady
direction.
Jessica.
Dune Part 2 was amazing for what it was. I think that like once you get into it, it was really good. Yes, there are issues with Jessica's character, but I think for what he was trying to do, he did really well. It's freaking amazing. Evie has valid opinions though.
Matt, you're my loyalists. Thank you.
Don't forget Vanch. Is it Vanch? Vanch?
You're a new recruit, Vanch.
Can you tell us how to pronounce your name in chat?
Yes, Ben is a new recruit. I'm gathering up like freaking Pokemon. So
look, maybe it's because of my newfound I don't have time to hate adaptations anymore, or like blame it on Star Wars just being like I don't have the energy to hate you anymore. I'm just evaluating things for how they are and how they try to be.
Listen,
it
was a prompt, and I have to give an answer. There's no room for nuance and subtlety on the internet. I have to be inflammatory either in my praise or my disdain. So
Ben, I have a visceral reaction to this statement, and I want to figure out why, and then we should do a live about it. Like a visceral anti-part to this reaction. Like I need to unpack this. Somebody get me a therapist.
Same, Marian. I still haven't watched both.
They're really good movies.
They're good movies for what they are. But if you are looking for something that's thematically close to the source material, they definitely changed a lot of stuff.
So did Lord of the Rings.
Thematic into it. But it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Did it though?
Yeah, it did.
Whatever. Anyways.
Glorification of violence. That's a big one, among other things. Also, no Tom Bombadil. That messes with the vision too much. Anyways, now I'm just trolling. But The Lord of the Rings legitimately did change a bunch of stuff thematically from the books. Aragorn is another big one.
Wait. Pete is setting off your holy gatekeeper Batman signal?
The statement from Ben. But which one is the real? Because we want to be correct and nice. Is it Vanch or Vanch?
Or
which is correct?
Vance?
Pete took over my channel. I'm not even clicking on comments now.
Yeah, Pete, be respectful. This is Anita's house.
Look, we're interrupting people now. It's fine.
What's your answer, Anita? What's your favorite and or least favorite book to film adaptation you saw this year?
I haven't watched anything except Shogun, so I think I should pick that. I mean, I read only like first part of Shogun, to be fair. And coming to the show, I did not like the last episode, and I hated Blackthorn character, but I loved Mariko's character and Yabu. Yeah, I mean, when I read the first part of Shogun, I hated Yabu so much. He was so annoying. But Show Yabu, oh my god, he's the best character. The perfect casting. I mean, he made Yabu somehow opposite of annoying. I can't say adorable for that character or cute for that character because he is disloyal. But somehow I did not hate Shoyabu. So fantastic.
He's weirdly likable for being a backstabbing traitor.
Yes. I mean, I couldn't get myself to hate that character. And the second answer I'm going to pick is Alithia is right. Every house is my house.
Unless it's Alan's house, then
no, Alan's house is my house too. After Alan.
Oh, we have
after Alan. After Alan. I said
usurping. Usurping.
Also,
no, not when Alan is not there. It's like.
Also, if anybody is tired of the ads that they're currently seeing, and want something a little bit more wholesome, you should go to customink.com or do something with Custom Ink, because then you will get all the Custom Ink ads. I say this because at my job we ordered
If you
shirts
are
from
done with your ad, I'll continue my answer. Please let me know
anyways.
when you are done.
Custom Ink ads. Listen to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyways, carry on, Anita.
Anyways, my second one is I did not read the book, but I found out later I that there is a book for this. I rewatched this show. This is the first show I recommended in my first video I ever made, called Nirvana in Fire. It's a Chinese historical drama. It's all about political intrigue. Pete, you'd love this. It's all about, political intrigue, strategies to, like, there are many princes, like crown prince and other princes, like outwitting the other, becoming the crown prince, next in line for the throne. It was fantastic. If you are into court intrigues, political intrigues, fantastic show. So I rewatched it. I did not realize there was a book. I found out later. So this is the show I'm going for. Yes. Thank you, Alithia, for your loyalty.
Revolutions are brewing.
Okay.
And
Most beautiful book you have bought or received so far?
All right.
this year.
Yes.
Yes.
So I would say, so this is kind of cheating because I bought this for myself, but
How is that cheating? You've received it.
It's asked you have bought or received. You can answer either way.
I was trying to go for like books that I've been gifted. So I did buy the Folio Society of Jonathan Strange, Mr. Norrell, and Kat from Alan's Discord was so kind to order them for me from the UK website, and I just sent her money. But in regard as for gifts, also I got the rest of the Winter Night trilogy of the full Fairy Loot set. Fairy Loot, Lemon Crate, one of the two. Hey, Spirit Coaster Water hardcover, that's great. But in regards to gifts, I got The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman from Through the Pages with D.
Oh no.
And then Clay sent me Woodworm by Leila Martinez, which, Matt, if you're still in the chat, I know that you've read this, or you at least shared it on your Instagram. So they're both very, very pretty covers. So, and very kind people were kind enough to send me the books. So thank you.
Anita, did you get yours yet of Advent? Okay, I'll let you take that one.
No, I let you pick that one. I have other options, but it's okay.
I'll do that one too. So I'm just gonna give you 4. I think I got this one this year. I don't recall. So 3 Tchaikovsky books. First one being House of Open Wounds. First of all, the cover is amazing because all the Tyrant Philosopher covers are amazing. And then you have the spine, or not the spine, the edges. It's so cool and so awesome. And then we have another one, Alien Clay. It's weird to me that the UK cover is red plants instead of yellow plants because the book plants are explicitly yellow, but I guess because the US cover had yellow plants, they couldn't do yellow plants. Oh wait, no. The non-special edition has yellow plants. That's what it was. The US cover is completely different. Terrible World Revolutions, heck yeah! Another Tchaikovsky book, Take Another Shot. Service Model, another really beautiful book in terms of, shout out to Broken Binding and Goldsboro for these. I feel like the light's not good for this. But
honorable mention, by the way, for August, because if we did this in August, I would say the midnight editions of Dandelion Dynasty from Broken Binding.
Oh, heck yeah. And then we have The Advent of Winter, compiled and edited by Dominish Books. He did really well with this. I love how the spine came out with all the different author names.
That's cool.
Yeah. The art in here is really cool. Like
and all others signed.
Papers. Yeah, all the authors signed them all,
including Tori Tekken from Tori Talks.
Yeah.
Yes. Even.
Tori
Yeah.
from Tori Talks, and we also have Andrew D. Meredith and Tiago Abdallah and Zachary Argyle. And there's probably more that I should. Ryan Cahill, but I don't know him.
Anyways, there's a lot of folks there.
They are with him. Jim Wilborn. I think everybody
Cal
else
Black,
I like know personally.
Tensi Osborne.
Pickering, Palmer Pickering. Yeah, so there's like some really cool stuff. It's a beautiful book. Dominic did a really good job with this. I hope he does it again, honestly. But cool, that's it.
Okay, first two books I got myself. By the way, both the authors I'm showing are my favorite authors. Parable of Sever and Parable of Talents by Octavia Butler, special editions by Broken Binding. I love these books. I love the, what is it, sprayed edges. And this
Plot
is
twist:
the
this entire tag is just a long con to promote Broken Binding special editions.
For the first time I have a book to show off. I never have books to show off usually because all my books are like normal books. And
Excuse me, you were gifted books, Anitha, this year.
But that's why I said first time I have books to show off.
But you were gifted books.
I am about to, I'm not done. And the most beautiful book I have received so far is Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. Evie sent me this. Evie sent me a big box of books actually, all Ursula Le Guin collection, short story collections and novella collections, and KJ Parker Under My Skin and Father of Lies collections as well. But this is the most beautiful book. It has, when I received the book, I just saw sorry about the noise. The art
Your house haunted.
Huh?
Sounds like your house is haunted.
Or people are drag racing.
It's probably what it is.
Like Too Fast, Too Furious, Anitha edition.
Toronto.
Art is so good in this one. I started reading Tales of Earthsea from this one, but it is so heavy. I could not read. My hands were hurting, so I have to get the library from. I have to get the book from the library. That's why I'm not continuing. But I love this.
You can't put words together again by just picking it up.
I love the art in this one. I can't hold it. This is the final image.
The good thing about that edition is that it can double as a weapon. So.
Or a weight if you want to get strong.
Yes.
Do you even look for?
She can now.
Yes, or on your hands. It is very heavy. Okay, favorite video you have done so far? Oh my god, I haven't even done any videos.
There is no question in my mind,
except Simon Jimenez interview. But anyway, go ahead.
It's the Simon Jimenez interview. That's it. That made my year, made my decade, made my lifetime. Like, that's why I don't do videos anymore, because I can't top that. So I genuinely like that.
That was a great interview, Evie. I loved watching that. I did not read the books, but I did not care about spoilers. Evie interviewing Simon Jimenez, I had to watch it.
This is a gentle reminder, not so gentle reminder. Anitha, please reach out to Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni.
Do it.
Okay.
Speaking of interviews, I have two answers for two different reasons. One because of it being an experience, and the other just because I put in good work for it. The first one is the Adrian Tchaikovsky interview. Like Evie, I think it was just a wonderful. Like, there are still questions I wish I could have asked him, but I just had a great time with that. And I'm glad that other people also had a great time with me doing that interview. It just was a lot of fun interviewing and talking with an author that I really like, and tried to convince him to write a Guns of the Dawn sequel, which might be happening. Um, so
Just
yeah,
specifically, everyone specifically thank Pete for when that happened.
yes,
Excuse me. I helped from being in the comments. I said I love that book. I yelled. Then he saw the support and he was like, "Looks like everyone loves that book, so I have to write a sequel. Not just one voice. It's a collective voice." I
Mhm.
never get credit.
There
I
are
don't.
dozens of us.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, I don't want to out myself, but I actually haven't watched the interview yet. I'm so sorry.
Evie,
Pete.
you're a terrible person. You're a terrible friend.
I am a terrible person, and I am a terrible friend. We knew this.
Okay, cool. The second one I will say is my commune commercial. So
That
for
was
the-
amazing. Our Wi-Fi is free roaming.
Rest and relaxation, and he was swinging his legs.
So for those of you that don't know, some of us have started doing commercials for Alan's Jeopardy. And on the
Some
most-
of you, some
I don't-
there are only two. That's you and me, and you completely ignored. You could have mentioned my name. You just ignored my name and said some of us. You don't just.
I went into commercial mode, all right?
No, he said some of you may know. That's what he was saying.
No, he
Some of you
said
may
some
not know.
of us started.
Yeah, basically Anitha and I have started doing commercials for Alan's Jeopardy. And the most recent one that I did, I am very proud of it because I scripted it and I had it all out and I shot it and edited it in about 4 hours and I didn't really know if I was going to be able to do it and I somehow pulled it off.
And it was
Yes, it probably will become my Patreon like commercial when I actually put out a Patreon because it was great and I loved it.
breaking news, everyone.
Yeah, so
He was saying that from past 2 years, so I don't believe it. I'll see it when
It's
I.
true. I'm pretty sure like the first year I started my channel, I was like, hey, yeah, it's like in the middle of Alan's
It's
Jeopardy.
not public, Marianne. It's in Alan's Discord. My episode or previous episode? No, not my. I think
It wasn't the last.
Joanna
episode,
Joanna Murphy and Laura's episode. I mean, last episode. Go to the middle break between each
There
round.
also is a link to it in
Alan's Discord, but I don't think she's there in Alan's Discord. Are you there in Alan's Discord? But it is easy to find in the Jeopardy episode in Alan's channel.
Yeah, but I think that it got messed up in the Jeopardy episode.
That is true.
So
Anyway, can I?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done.
We need to find a way to post these commercials somewhere. So that
Eventually, I'm sorry, I have plans for commercials.
Pete.
What?
I'm going ahead because Pete had different plans for his channel, his future, his credit. Let him. Okay, I haven't made many videos, but I did 4 live streams and all of them my favorite. I did tier ranking every book I read in 2023 with Evie. I love that stream. I had so much fun. Thank you, Evie, for joining, and you will be joining every year, hopefully. And I did tier ranking all Realm of Elderlings books in my channel with bunch of friends, with Evie, Andrew, Ben, and Grace, and another guy. That was loads of fun. And I also did 2 discussions, one with why do we like grimdark and morally grey characters with Alan, Sarah, and Klaus, and also importance of themes in fantasy books with Evie, John, and Philip. Both discussions I loved.
The other guy was Pete, by the way. Just putting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, and I will. So to piggyback off of what Anita said, like other than the Simon Jimenez interviews, just all the discussions that I've been a part of, that I've been invited to, whether they've been about a specific book series, just in general, That's the thing I love about BookTube. It's not about sitting in front of a camera and talking in front of a camera by myself. It's the discussion and conversation with you guys. So
Yeah, hence why we're doing this tag together. We should just make live tag discussions a thing instead of just bringing back tags. Just be like, all right, cool. Let's
thank you,
just sit down.
Joanna. By the way,
Absolutely.
we stole this idea from Joanna. So, but she
Shamelessly,
also
by the way.
gave us permission. So is it really stealing?
We asked before stealing. Also, I think World Hopper's channel did it last year.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while, to be honest.
Yeah. And next question. I think this is the last question. What
I'll
books
just
do you
say-
need to read by the end of the year?
I'll just say we're the new World Hoppers. Just say.
Cosmere
Thank you.
reference. Heck yeah.
Sorry.
What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Evie, I hope you're fine. Don't manifest into a real vomit.
I hope Lords of Uncreation is on this list, Anitha.
So, I feel like I talked about this with you guys before, but I definitely talked about it. Also in more detail, but I alluded to it earlier, where I get excited when people ask me to join stuff, and I don't think about the repercussions and if I actually want to read the books. So I would like to read books. Sorry.
Heck yeah, Peter. Dandelion Dynasty.
Yes, I get into buddy reads where I need to read the book and I want to actually read books that I want to read, if that makes sense. So I'm less overwhelmed by buddy reads and subsequently less DNFs for the rest of the year because they're books I actually want to read and not have to read. I would like to finish up the Black Company series. I have Water Sleeps and Soldiers Live left.
Horde of Shadows.
Is it though? I would like to finish Blackwater. Allegedly, based on timing, this should happen. Should be done by the end of December. I would like to finish my reread of Life Ship Traders. I would like to, other than reading Days of Fallen. Nope, Days of
Fallen Night.
Nope, Days of Shattered Faith. I would like to read that.
I thought you were talking about the Sherilyn Kenyon.
No.
The blue.
Matt, if you're still here, which I'm pretty sure you are because you commented less than a minute ago, I would also like to finally read Little Big by John Crowley.
Little Big what?
That's what it's called, Little Big.
Little Big what?
I don't know. I haven't read the book, so we'll find out.
Okay. Nice.
Also, maybe start Shadows of the Apt or LPQ. I can't decide which.
Ooh, that's a tough decision. I mean, on the bright side, if you start Shadows of the Apt, by the time you get to Scare Path, Alan might really think about reading it. Okay, what do I got? Black Company, for sure, finishing that this year. I think I have a lot of Adrian Tchaikovsky on the list. I think the stuff that I will probably definitely get to, besides of Lords of Uncreation, is Echoes of the Fall. Everything else is kind of up in the air. Mercy of the Gods, for sure. Light Space Bringer, it's on there. Finishing up Savis Korax. Finishing up in the Avatar books.
Also,
Saga.
I want to make sure.
Well, there's Fencer Trilogy, but we're dependent upon Alan to time that. But also, I want to make sure I read The Company this year by KJ Parker.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sorry.
Learn how to steal. Well, you don't learn how to steal an island, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Me, must read. Must read. Like, I'll die if I don't read. Dagger and Coin by Daniel Abraham, that series. I'm not sure. I can't decide whether to start over from first book or continue from the third book, but I have to finish that series this year. And great quotes by Sebastian de Castell with Alan. And City of Last Chances and House of Hope and Wounds by Adrian Tchaikovsky.
I
Those
will
are
It's
like,
say
time for Days
for
of Shattered Faith.
yeah, Days. God, why did Days of Shattered Faces is on there. Fencer Trilogy's on there. Great Coats is probably on there too. I should buy at least the first
at
book.
least one more Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, and
Short story collection, just saying.
Bloodstones by Tori Tekken,
Heck yeah.
and
I want to learn how to make rapiers. I feel like he's going to teach us how to make rapiers. Wait, no, he's probably going to teach us how to fence in the Fencer Trilogy.
Drowned Kingdom by P.L. Stewart.
Are we all excited to learn how to fence?
Hopefully Dawn by Octavia Butler.
Yes. Fine. When? Tell me when. I'm waiting.
I wrote a prompt for this book, just for this book. So whenever it comes from my prompter, we'll read that.
Dawn's great. I might join you to reread that because it's been 6 years.
Pretty
6
sure I
years.
bought the second one recently too.
That's true, Marian. We almost said his name for every question.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Good guy. Nice. Purple and
Okay,
black.
I think that's the end of the questions. And
Time for
any other
Evie.
plans? Any other video plans you have? Discussions?
Not
You
for the
both
rest
want
of the
to-
year.
You
Because
both want to discuss Black Company.
Where's your tier list?
My
She
tier
already
list?
Your
posted.
tier list.
She already posted.
Oh, I'm a
I
bad
don't
friend.
understand
Sorry.
how you two are friends. You don't watch each other's channels.
I don't watch a lot of people's channels, to be fair.
Oh,
I'm
you're
very
one of those people who doesn't watch BookTube.
Anita was the first comment on my channel. Actually, I think second
watch
after
some
Colton.
BookTube videos. I need to watch more because I also need to make friends with more people that are on here because I'm just still stuck in the. But what if they come back?
First, try be loyal to the friends you have.
Oh,
that
snap!
also. That also.
Okay, guys. Are we wrapping up or do you want to chat?
I have dinner downstairs waiting.
You
for me.
can't
Okay,
stop her
we are
from
wrapping up.
leaving because of food.
We, all of us, both of their channels are linked in the description below. So subscribe to them. I'm sure you're already subscribed to them. And we all are available in Alan's Discord 24/7 if you want to get in touch. And everyone go read Daniel Abraham and Adrian Tchaikovsky and KJ Parker.
And Dandelion
Erika.
Dynasty. Dandelion Dynasty. Dandelion Dynasty.
I'm not.
Not by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Surprisingly.
No.
Yeah.
It's by you.
Also Simon Jimenez. There you go. I'm gonna get my.
Yeah, I hope we do more stream. I'll plan something, K Fox, at least if not direct videos to host discussions or host
I do think
some
doing
stream.
tag
Actually,
streams like this is great.
One thing that I do have planned, hopefully, if I can get Alan to respond, is I will hopefully be doing very soon a discussion about equal rights, Mort, and Guards as the first books in the Witches, Death, and City Watch trilogy sub-series with Kim and Alan and Derry. So.
Speaking of Kim, I'm definitely at some point going to do a Dispossessed conversation with Kim and Joanna. Cool. Silence.
Apparently, these people, see, this is what happens. I'm talking about plans with these two. They're talking about plans without me, excluding me.
We're waiting for you to talk about the plans that we have.
We do have plans to talk about Lords of Uncreation, Anita, with you when you finish it.
It's okay, Sal. It's okay. All happened was betrayal. I don't understand how my booktube journey runs parallel to Alan's. Betrayal is happening. Betrayal. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. You made it lots of fun. I want to film a TBR. I plan to film a TBR video, but these two broke my heart. Now I have to, you know, console my heart.
I'm sorry, Anita.
That's not happening, Matt. I
You
know
betrayed
everyone
me
wants to.
by not reading the books.
Don't talk to me. Talk to the hand. Bye, everyone.